High school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group. Now let's take you live to the field and our play-by-play team. It's high school football on the Q92 Sports Network, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Football, catch the fever.
He is also a member of the Perry Marching Band.
From Keith Wakefield Stadium, good evening. It's time for high school football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92. Clint Scroggs along with Brian Beatty, and it's homecoming tonight at Perry, as we have the Perry Panthers and the Jackson Polar Bears. A couple of teams coming off of different kinds of losses last week. Perry falling in a big way to Canton McKinley, and Jackson falling in heartbreaking fashion in the final 30 seconds at Green. So two teams in desperate need of a Federal League win here tonight, and the weather is a factor. We're not expecting a ton of rain here tonight, though it is raining right now, and the lights are on at Keith Wakefield Stadium, but the wind definitely will be a factor, blowing directly out of the east to the west and gusting right now anyway at over 30 miles an hour, with a steady wind of about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And the kicking game, the passing game certainly will be affected by the conditions here tonight. It's the same all around Stark County, and you can hear about games coming up around Stark County that we'll have for you on another Score 7 Friday night here on Q92 and WDPN. And those games will be previewed in just a moment. We'll also hear from the head coaches of tonight's game, so stick around for that. Right now, stay tuned for our game previews as we get set for Jackson and Perry coming up at the top of the hour. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group, with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at Sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Good evening, everyone. This is Jay Wilhelm with Q92 Sports. I'm here live in Tuslaw as the Mustangs welcome in the Northwest Indians. The Northwest Indians come into tonight's game with a record of 4-1. Their only loss came at the hands of the Manchester Panthers in an overtime game in Week 4, but they are coming off a big win last week as they defeated Fairless 31-14. They'll look to make it back-to-back wins here tonight. The Tuslaw Mustangs enter tonight's home matchup sitting at 2-3. They started out the season with a 17-0 loss versus Smithville, but won 2 in a row in weeks 2 and 3 to Chippewa and Riverview before coming into this evening on the heels of back-to-back losses to CVCA and on the road at Triway. The Mustangs will look to get back to 500 ball here at home tonight. Indians versus Mustangs tonight as kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. Join me to see who comes away with the victory here tonight at Tuslaw. Live from William E. Kurtz Stadium, I'm Jay Wilhelm, Q92 Sports.
We are live from Marlington High School, where tonight the Marlington Dukes host the Carrollton Warriors in an EBC matchup. The Carrollton Warriors, under first-year coach Storm Hill, committed tonight's game with a 3-2 record and a 2-game winning streak. They've got wins over East Liverpool, Howland, and Garfield so far this season, and they'll look to continue that winning streak tonight on the road as they begin EBC conference play. Led by their quarterback, Jake Whitmore, who's thrown for 400 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season and rushed for 132 and 4 touchdowns. Speaking of rushing, the Carrollton Warriors are led by running back Levi Kiko, who already has over 90 carries on the season for over 500 yards. When Carrollton does throw the ball, they look for receivers Braylon Murphy and Isaac Husted. Murphy has 8 catches on the season for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Marlington Dukes come into tonight's game on a 4-game losing streak and a 1-4 record. The Dukes are looking to turn their season around as they enter conference play from here on out. The Dukes are led by their quarterback, senior Bryson McCord, who just this week announced his commitment to play college football at Mount St. Joseph's University. On the season, McCord is 45 for 83 for 542 yards and 5 passing touchdowns. And his number one target, sophomore wide receiver Cameron Evanich, who in the first half of the season has 17 receptions for 256 yards and 5 touchdowns. The Dukes are led on the ground by running back Luke Stanley, who's rushed for 145 yards on the season and has 1 rushing touchdown. EBC conference play begins tonight, and we've got a good one for you as the Carrollton Warriors take on the Marlington Dukes. And you can hear it all right here on AM 1310 WDPN, and of course, streaming live online at Q92radiosports.com. From Marlington High School, I'm Christian Bigglesworth for Q92 Sports.
Finding the right space to open or relocate your business can mean the difference between success and failure. The real estate professionals at Putman Properties will help find the perfect commercial property to suit your needs. Putman Properties specializes in office, retail, warehouse, manufacturing, investment, and multifamily residential real estate. Looking to sell your commercial real estate? Putman Properties marketing professionals will utilize local, regional, and national networks developed over 30 years to command the highest yield available. Contact Putman Properties at 330-498-4400 or visit them online at putmanproperties.com.
Welcome to week 6 of the high school football season, and on to the second half we go. In this week 6 matchup, we will have the 3-2, 0-1 in the Federal League in North Canton Hoover Vikings play host to the winless 0-5, 0-2 in the Federal League Glen Oak Golden Eagles. Hoover was able to get a nice bounce-back win in an out-of-conference game last week against Louisville, 23-16, where the offense scored over 20 points for the 4th time this year. However, it is a completely different story on the other side. The Golden Eagles have been shut out in 3 of the 5 games, losing last week to Lake 27-0, and have only mustered up 13 total points all season, with one of those being on offense. Senior Adrian Burt has been the starter of the season, and the dual-threat quarterback has not been able to get anything going through the air. Burt has thrown for 161 yards with 4 interceptions, however, is leading the Golden Eagles in rushing with 152 yards. Their only offensive touchdown came from running back Jerome Fox. And for the Vikings, it's the run game that has carried them to a record over 500. Dual-threat quarterback John Collins has taken over the starting job for the injured Zach Brocker and has thrown for 198 yards with just 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. But as I said, that run game has put them in the position they are today, led by star senior A.J. Dolph. Dolph has rushed for 536 yards with 4 touchdowns, with backup running back Christian Friel running for 212 yards and 2 touchdowns, with Collins adding another 247 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground. Will the Golden Eagles break their losing streak and get their first win of the year, or will the Vikings pull the 500 in the Federal League? Only way to find out is by tuning into Q92radiosports.com. For Q92 Sports, I'm Ian Herman.
Week 6 of OHSAA football, and we have an EBC clash on our hands at SIBO Stadium as the Salem Quakers play host to the Alliance Aviators, the home team, 1-4 on the year. Their last game was a 32-25 loss against Beaver. As for Alliance, their last game, a 27-14 loss against Canton Central Catholic J.R. Jackson. This will be the 3rd week as a quarterback for him after taking over for the initial starter, Bo Davis. 321 yards and 4 scores as a passer, while also adding on 233 yards and 1 touchdown as a runner. Rayvon Hawkins, the main running back, also having a good year for the Aviators with 377 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. One team, they will get one step closer to the playoffs. The other will need to win out if they would like to finish the year at 500. But who will take home the victory in conference? Tune in live at Q92radiosports.com to find out. For Q92 Sports, I am Nathan Smith.
Are you tired of the same old event food? Consider Aunt Allie's Catering. Aunt Allie's fulfills catering needs 7 days a week. Need party trays, box lunches? How about breakfast? Aunt Allie's Catering delivers, literally. We'll deliver or you can pick it up. Main courses, pastas, side salads. How about oven-fried chicken tenders with dipping sauces? Or Italian sausage and peppers with a side of cheesy potatoes. Check them out online at AuntAllie'sCatering.com or call the Birdhouse Deli at 330-479-1671.
It's officially the second half of the 2024 season, and we are at Green Memorial Stadium in Uniontown for the Battle of the Bulldogs, a Federal League matchup between the 3-2, 2-0 in the Federal League McKinley Bulldogs and the 4-1, 2-0 in the Federal League Green Bulldogs. McKinley and Green both sit atop the Federal League standings, with the winner of tonight's game taking a solo hold of first place. Last year, McKinley rallied from down 27-7 at half to beat Green 28-27. McKinley leads the all-time series 9-0. Entering tonight, McKinley holds the number 5 seed in Division I Region I standings. The Pups were 1-2 entering the start of the Federal League play and have rolled off back-to-back wins over Glen Oak and Perry by a combined score of 73-13 with 1,051 yards of total offense. McKinley has an abundance of talent on both sides of the ball. Quarterback Cam Montgomery has completed 66% of his passes with 9 touchdowns and 3 picks. And every year, McKinley has an underclassman who bursts onto the scene. This year, it's sophomore wide receiver Darius Hill on offense and sophomore linebacker Antonio Stevens on defense. Hill has 9 catches, 4 of them going for touchdowns, while Stevens leads the team in tackles with 32. Green currently sits 3rd in Division II Region 5, and after losing the season opener to Dover 28-24, they have rolled off 4 wins in a row, not allowing an opponent to score more than 20 points during the streak. In the last 2 weeks of Federal League play, Green has tight wins over Hoover 21-19 and a crazy end to last week's win over Jackson 27-17. Green has welcomed back from injuries some key elements on both sides of the ball in the last 2 weeks. Senior linebacker A.J. Fortunato returned after 2 weeks off with an ankle injury, and senior wide receiver and defensive back Antonio Martin returned from an ACL injury in the win over Hoover, and in his first 2 games back has a pair of touchdowns and an interception. This game has the makings of an instant classic and will leave one team sitting alone on the top step of the Federal League. Kickoff at 7 p.m. with me, Ryan Keller, and joining me on the broadcast tonight, John Moffitt. Catch all the action on Q92Radiosports.com. From Green Memorial Stadium, Ryan Keller, Q92 Sports.
An in-county matchup that predates Pearl Harbor tonight. Canton Central Catholic will travel on the road to take on the Louisville Leopards. 2 teams that are both entering this game with a 2-3 record. The Leopards seem to be a team that is playing better football as the year goes along. They're led by their outstanding running back in Owen DiMarzio. He leads the team in rushing and he leads the team in receiving. Tidal Jancic is the senior quarterback, a star from the basketball team who will patrol things offensively for head coach Chris Kappas in his second year. As for Canton Central Catholic, it's been the Connor Thomas show on offense. He's the leading receiver, but he also has 8 rushing touchdowns. He wears number 89, so you immediately think of a wide receiver when you see him play, but he really is their do-it-all-things guy on offense. A team that started 0-3, giving up over 40 points per game in their first 3 games. They're giving up just 17.5 in their last 2 games, wins over Salem in double overtime and a win last week against Alliance by 2 touchdowns. It's 2-3 Central on the road at 2-3 Louisville tonight, and we'll have it for you on Q92Radiosports.com. For Q92 Sports, I'm John Bozica.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Who rides SARTA? You do. You, your neighbors, coworkers, and the people behind you in line at the grocery store. Our riders are moms, dads, students, retirees, and commuters. To help persons with disabilities, our ProLine countywide service picks them up and takes them direct to their destination. SARTA riders tell us they appreciate all the places we take them and how we help the community. That's how you get SARTA smart. Visit sartaonline.com/smart.
Back here on Q92 as we get ready for another Friday night of high school football action. It's week 6 and a Federal League matchup between the Jackson Polar Bears and the Perry Panthers. We're talking to the head coach of the Polar Bears, Jay Rohr. And before we get to Perry this week, let's talk at least just a little bit about last week's game against Green. Tough way to end a game. How do you approach that in the following week after something like that happens?
The message I kind of told the players, and this isn't to take any offense away from Coach Geis. I preach all the time just about the coaches in the Federal League and how great of coaches those guys are and what they do for their teams respectively. Those guys played a great game, but we use the term, self-destruct, and it's really just unacceptable. We had costly penalties that came back to bite us, and certainly made some critical mistakes. And it's more self-inflicted wounds than it was green. Now, when they had to make plays, they certainly did. So again, I do give them all the credit in the world. But it's certainly something that we have to preach, and I preach to them that, we've got to be more disciplined. That's certainly where we've always been able to hang our hat on, and really get back to that, get back to the discipline part, holding each other's accountable. And again, as I always say after a loss, is we got to get back to work.
You're going to, drop passes. You might miss a block or something like that during a game, but there are certain things that I know coaches get especially upset about, especially when you're halfway through the season. How do you handle those things? How do you work on those things at this point of the season? You try to preach positivity a lot of times, but more so just understanding that no matter what, and that's the blessing about the game of football is the life lessons that football teaches you, and to overcome adversity and those sort of things. And just that, you make a mistake, a lot of times there's a consequence for your actions. And those are the things that, we're going back to when we make mistakes, whether it's in the game and you get a personal foul like we did in that green game, or anything else, there's consequences. Obviously, it involved them getting a touchdown, but certainly for us, we as coaches to hold them accountable is that there's, whether it's added conditionings or it's added things as a team, because it's not just one player, it's a team game, but just holding kids accountable. And again, respectively, that's how things happen in the real world. When you do get a job and you do certain things like that. So just going back to holding them accountable, even the captains holding, their team accountable, and focusing on the little things, on the discipline. And that's what we've incorporated so much this week. You're going up against the Perry team that suffered a different kind of loss last week, and one I'm sure that has gotten their attention as they fell to Canton McKinley. When you see them and when you deal with them, what do you see and what do you expect from them this week?
First and foremost, a well-coached team. You got, Slates over there, and they've got a long-time assistants over there. And obviously they bring back a veteran guy in Wakefield that certainly knows what it takes to be successful as well in the Federal League. And that's both, Slates is a player and a coach now. So I just, they're just back to having a physical mentality. Those guys, without question, believe in one another. They play exceptionally hard from the first whistle to the last. And it's really a different bunch, from what we saw a year ago to who they are now. And that's, a credit to their coaching staff.
Everybody talks about going against Perry and the wing T. How do you deal with that? And also with what seems to be a little more diverse offense than we've seen in the past?
Absolutely, and I think they do. They're a lot more diverse. I think they certainly still like to be in the wing T. I love what they do over there. Certainly, again as a player going against it all these years, and now certainly as a coach too. So. To be honest with you, you can't replicate it. No matter what, no matter what team is going against Perry. I truly don't believe that you can truly replicate, how fast, those things hit and how fast, pull is pull and block, and those sort of things, because those guys have been doing it since they've been little. So, you just try to do your best to instill it with your scout team to give the best look possible, and just know that, it's a 48-minute war that's going to take place, and that's what we continue to do here.
All right, that's Jay Rohr. He's the head coach of the Jackson Polar Bears. They take on Perry this week. Coach, thanks for your time and good luck.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
Since 1962, DeHoff Realtors has been a cornerstone of the Jackson community. Proud supporters of the Jackson local schools, we're committed to helping our neighbors buy and sell homes with expertise and integrity. Visit us at DeHoff.com or call us at 330-499-8153. And let's champion your next move together. Go Polar Bears! DeHoff Realtors, your championship team in real estate dedicated to serving the Jackson community with pride.
It's Perry versus Jackson this week on Q92, and we happen to be talking with the head coach of the Panthers right now. His name is Zach Slates. And before we get to your game this week against the Polar Bears, we'll talk a little bit about your game last week against Canton McKinley. And I know coming off of the win against Lake, you had to be surprised about how that game turned out. Was that a result, that game last week, of the week of preparation, or was it all about Friday night?
Yeah, I mean, McKinley had 5 big plays, and we were in position to make the plays, and we just didn't make the tackles when we needed to. Yeah, they had athletes. I mean, they give credit to McKinley. I mean, they did what we had to stop them from doing, and they made some big plays and put some points on the board. And we didn't move the ball on offense very well, so that hurt us.
Well, you had shown it looked like in the late game that maybe you'd held some things back in the pre-conference schedule. Maybe we saw a little more passing in that game, and maybe a little more as far as wrinkles in your offense. Did you think your offense took a step back last week, or was it just about what McKinley did?
I mean, it was just execution of some things. I mean, football's a team sport, and it takes 11 guys to do things the way we want to do them. And we just didn't execute the way we needed to, and that was the result.
Well, you have the Jackson Polar Bears this week, and they are smarting off of a loss last week, a totally different type of loss, a last-second loss against Green. But you go into against a team that, like you, really needs a victory in conference, and like you is coming off a loss. What's your attitude coming into this game as far as how you approach it and how you present it to your team?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a good week of preparation. The kids have been on it this week, so that's been really good to see. We have a loss like that, a lot of times the kids can go the other direction, and they didn't. They've had a real good week, and they're excited to play.
What are some of the things that Jackson does that you think that stand out when you watch them on film?
Yeah, they got a good quarterback, good receivers. They play solid defense, and they're a good overall team. And they're a Jackson team. People ask like what they look like. Like, it looks like a Jackson team. Got really good athletes and a really good team.
All right, that's Zach Slate. He's the head coach of the Perry Panthers. They take on Jackson this week, Coach. We appreciate your time and good luck to you. Thank you.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Welcome back to Perry. The wind is howling. The rain is being blown by the wind. We're getting ready for Jackson and Perry. And right now we're getting ready for our national anthem. So we'll try and get that to you from the field right now. Well, as you can hear through our crowd mic, the wind is the strongest it's been all afternoon as we get at least a partial dose of Hurricane Helene that just yesterday was crossing into Florida and today is already here. So hopefully it'll move out very quickly and our game won't be affected too much by the conditions. But right now, it's raining sideways, and it's definitely going to be a factor, Brian, at some point, somehow or other tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be pros and cons to the win tonight. This game might just come down to special teams, and both teams have excellent kickoff and extra point kicker, field goal kickers with Brock Huggins of Perry. We've seen him a couple weeks ago hit one over 50 yards, and then Jackson's Cooper Miser's another one. So, this game might come down with a little wind in your back. You can put one in. 3 points might be something to big difference in this game. But overall, I'm looking forward to another great Federal League matchup with two excellent coached football teams.
Jackson losing last week to Green in the final 30 seconds. Perry lost by 31 to McKinley. So Jackson 0-1 in the Federal League. Perry 1-1. Perry leads the all-time series 32-31-4. Jackson won last year 49-14. As we get set to go, and it's Miser to kick it off for the Polar Bears with a wind at his back. That kick's going to come down at the 1 yard line. The return man puts a foot back in the end zone, but he's going to bring it back and only out to the 15-yard line. He caught the ball in the field of play, backed up into the end zone, and came out to the 15 where he was brought down by Chase Maurer, who we saw make a number of special teams plays last week.
Yeah, that's for sure. Once again, special teams for Jackson. Kickoff, they contained Martin last week, kicking the ball to him, which I thought was going to be a mistake, but they are well disciplined in their special teams.
Quarterback Austin Maddox under center. The senior brings a man in motion near side, fumbles the snap, picks it up. He's going to run straight ahead and gets it out to the 20, so he picks up about 5 yards. He got the best out of the situation there. Ty Jaquinta is the center. Michael Millen and Carson Gitcomb are the guards. Preston Daisy, Antonio Salazar the tackles. Dominic Scott the tight end. The running backs are Kyson Walker, Evan Laubacher, and Caleb Lawn. We will also see Connor Shepard in the backfield, who's their leading rusher and tackler for this Perry team, and he's back there right now, it looks like, as the lone setback in the wing tee. They'll hand it off on a sweep around left end, and it is Kyson Walker taking it up to the 23, 24-yard line. So it'll be third and short here for the Perry Panthers.
As in any game, you don't want to get behind the sticks, but on a weather night like tonight, you got to be mistake-free, stay in front of the sticks, so you have your opportunity to convert short third down plays.
On the season, Kyson Walker's run for 235 yards, 5.7 average, 155 for Maddox, 258 for Shepard. And on third down, give up the middle and short yardage, but enough, it looks like, for a first down. Only one injury to mention tonight on the Life Care Family Health and Dental injury report, and that's Caleb Hundley, who was injured in week 1 for Perry against Central, separated shoulder, but he is back tonight. So another weapon available for Zach Slates and the Perry Panthers. They will send Carter Foster out wide to the left, wing each way, one in the backfield. Maddox under center. On first and 10 from the 27, delay handoff up the middle, and Shepard powering his way across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. Brought down by Cooper Geisinger and others for the Polar Bears. And it will be a 2nd and 5. We are about 2.5 minutes into this first quarter. And the wind in the face of the Perry Panthers as they go toward the scoreboard, west to east, here at Keith Wakefield Stadium. Foster comes to the near side right, as Nathan Kuntz on him, and they'll give it off again over the right tackle, and it's going to be good enough for a first down. It looks like that's Caleb Lawn at 5'11" and 220, getting the yardage there, and just straight ahead runs, won by the quarterback on a drop snap, but everything else is just right at this Jackson defense, and it's been very effective so far.
Yeah, the right side of the line made a nice gap there, and right now up front, it looks like Perry's winning that battle early.
Foster out to the left side now, wing each way. One man in the backfield. Maddox gives it to him, and this time the Jackson defense is there. Middle of that defense with Nolan Foster, Van Reardon, and others making the stop after a gain of only about a yard out to the 39-yard line. Jackson and Perry scoreless. Panthers taking the kickoff from their 15 now out to the 39. And it's homecoming tonight at Perry, which is kind of unfortunate, but they had their festivities before the game. 3 down linemen for Jackson. They'll run it over right tackle. And again, the Polar Bears defense is there. First man there was Zach Saleh at the 40. And that'll set up a 3rd and 8 now into the win for Perry. On the season, Austin Maddox has completed 54.5% of his passes, 312 yards. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I'd be shocked if they put the ball in the air, though, here in this situation, even though it's 3rd and 8.
Yeah, I see him keeping the ball on the ground.
Wide out to the far side left. Maddox brings a man in motion. It's the double handoff attempt, and Jackson is in the backfield, and they force a huge loss back to the 35-yard line. They were charging right up the middle, and it looked like Perry was going to try something a little tricky, maybe the double handoff, but it ended up with a multiple-yard loss. Kyle Ross was there for Jackson. Sorry, it was Mitchell Brucker there for Jackson, and several of his teammates there. So back to the 35-yard line. It'll be 4th and 13. And a punting situation. Brock Huggins, 33.6 is average, and he kicks this one into the wind. It's a spinner that's going to take a Perry bounce, finally picked up by Calando, and he's going to be dropped immediately back around his 29-yard line. So about 35 on the punt. Pretty nice job into the wind, and not much on the return. Jackson 1st and 10 on their 29-yard line. Their offense has Tegan Essig at center, Robbie Eberhardt and Evan Mauser at the guards, Brennan Ertl and Angel Martinez are the tackles. Keegan Stanley is the tight end. Kristen Satterfield, their outstanding running back, in the backfield with quarterback Lucas Eckerman. And a handoff. Satterfield tries the middle, has a little bit of a seam across the 30 to about the 33-yard line before he is stood up and pushed back. Perry's Cavalin Belknap, one of those in on the tackle for the Panthers. On the season, Satterfield, 422 yards, 2 touchdowns, averages about 4.5 yards a carry. Had a nice game last week at Green. And on 2nd down and 6 from their 33, it's another handoff. Satterfield tries the middle, now bounces outside left, 40, 45, and out to the 47, 48-yard line. Brought down by Austin Maddox. And he'll pick up about 17 on the play, or about 14 on the play, to the 48, and Jackson with a 1st down.
Yeah, it was just a counter. The guard and tackle pulled. He followed him right around the left side there and then bounced it out and found a seam.
They'll try it again over the left side, and again, decent yardage over the 50 to the Perry 48-yard line. So a pickup of about 4 by Satterfield, a senior, 5'8" and 165. Runs a little bigger than that.
Yeah, that's another nice run. Same play, counter, but this time, not thinking it's going to bounce outside. He saw the hole, took it inside that block, and that's a smart running back there. Ooh.
That's some movement, but not into the neutral zone apparently. And now Jackson will look to the near side of the field to get the signal, and it's a throw. Eckerman back, standing in, and then he's sacked. Held on to the ball a little too long, and he was brought down by John Clintworth, the junior defensive tackle, and that's going to be a big loss back to the Jackson 45. So now 3rd down and about 13.
I see Coach roar down there. He's upset. You knew what their stunt was going to be. You saw, the extra movement there. You knew they were sliding down to the left. That should have been an easy pickup, but someone had a miscommunication and had the sack. He came free.
So 3rd down and long. Eckerman with an empty backfield. Steps up. Now he steps into a player and lost the ball. The ball popped out. I didn't see who hit it, and Perry recovers. Perry recovers the football. Carson Gitcomb comes out with it for the Panthers. And the first big turnover of the game comes at the Jackson 35-yard line. Remember, they had a 2nd and 6 on the Perry 48. And 2 plays later, a sack and now a fumble, and the Panthers have the ball on the Jackson 36.
Yeah, I don't know if the ball was actually hit or if it just slipped out of his hands. There wasn't a throwing movement at all, but it just dropped right out of his hands, and he just had a hard time trying to gather it back in.
Wake up 14 on John F. Kennedy in the early going on the Sardis scoreboard. Sandy Valley leading Indian Valley 7-0. And now here's Maddox rolling left, throwing out in the flat and off the fingertips of Kyson Walker as they tried to throw the short one. And though the flag is blowing pretty straight on the near side of the field, it's actually calmed down wind-wise a little bit from earlier.
Yeah, 10, 15 miles an hour feels like a sunny day here today.
We're talking about gusts of 30 or more, and I'm sure that's what we were having just before and just around the kickoff. It has calmed down just a smidge. 2nd and 10, run up the middle, broken tackle, and inside the 30 to the 29-yard line goes Cavalin Belknap, sophomore, takes it to the 28. That'll leave him about 2 yards short of the first down. Belknap with only his 10th carry of the season, now for 59 yards. And a nice change of pace there for the Panthers. They will again send Carter Foster out to the left as a split end. They have a wing each way. Maddox under center. Turns, gives to Belknap, running left and hit, pushing forward and getting inside the 25 down to the 24. And that's going to be a Perry first down. 3:26 left in the first quarter. We are scoreless. Perry trying to take advantage of the Jackson fumble. They started on the Polar Bear 35. So Jackson trying to play some transition defense.
You know, we've had Perry a few times now this year, and we, always said you got to be disciplined on defense. And, last week, Green was a completely different style of offense.
Here's a run up the middle, and this time nothing doing for the ball carrier. Zach Saleh with another tackle, this one right on the 25. And that's going to be a loss of a yard on the play. And it'll back him up and set up a 2nd and 11. The temperature isn't bad. It's 71. But it's just the sideways rain and the really heavy wind right now that's causing the problems. Man in motion to the left. Here comes Maddox rolling near side. Still rolling to the sideline, and he's tackled out of bounds out near the 30-yard line. That's Brucker who brings him down out around the 29. So they'll lose more yardage there. It'll be 3rd down and about 14 with the ball on the 29-yard line.
Yeah, good discipline there by the Jackson defensive backs. You're always looking to run here, but they had great coverage there. They didn't get sucked up. You want to try to sneak. Perry likes to try to sneak someone out. Their eyes are on the running back. It's great coverage there.
All right, here comes Foster to the near side. They'll split 2 out to the left, Jaden Wilson and Kyson Walker. Maddox alone in the backfield. Man goes in motion left. That's Lemon, and whistles and flags as the play gets started. That'll stop the clock.
Defensive end for Jackson, I think, tried to beat that snap. He may have been a tad bit early. Yep,
they're going to move it forward 5 yards to the 24-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and about 10. This is about where they started a series of downs. And the loss of a yard on the first play and then the sack on the second play. And the penalty here gives Perry a little bit of a breather. Jackson had trouble with penalties last week against Green, especially in big situations. They go 4 wide. There goes Lemon in motion now out to the left side, and Maddox will roll that way. Stops, rusher in his face, throw down the middle, caught for a touchdown. Kyson Walker crossing the middle of the field, hit perfectly by Austin Maddox. And a 24-yard touchdown pass gets Perry on the board.
Key to that play right there was the running back 27. That was a great pickup by Caleb. I mean, that end that was offsides the play before. They know when that jet motion, he's just coming automatically. Great inside shoulder. Got him, and the quarterback stepped right inside the pocket and made a great throw.
Extra point attempt coming by Brock Huggins. He's made all 11 he's attempted this season. This might be his most difficult, but he gets it very high and very far and between the uprights. 2 minutes exactly to go in the first quarter. Perry 7, Jackson nothing. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Troyer's Dutch Market in Perry is bringing Holmes County to your neighborhood. Stop into Troyer's Dutch Market at 3435 Lincoln Way East in Perry, where you will find your favorite Walnut Creek and Troyer's Home Pantry products, such as meats and cheeses, fresh bread and buns, homemade dressing, baked goods and desserts like the fry pie, and the 10-pound chocolate bar, or your favorite Troyer's Home Pantry pie. Troyer's Dutch Market in Perry, bringing Holmes County to your neighborhood.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
An impressive throw by Austin Maddox into the wind, just over the outstretched fingers of a defender and into the hands of Kyson Walker. And the Perry Panthers have taken the lead. Walker with his 12th catch of the season, second touchdown, and here's the kickoff to the far side and out of bounds. So Jackson will get good field position. Perry going 35 yards on that last possession after the fumble, and cashing in on the 3rd and 10 after the offside penalty against Jackson. Changed it from 3rd and 15 to 3rd and 10, and the pass was complete. And Perry on the board with 2 minutes left in the first quarter on the Sardis scoreboard. Jackson, because of the out-of-bounds kickoff, will start on their 40. Carrollton up 7-0 over Marlington on the Sardis scoreboard. Northwest leads Tuslaw 7-0. Jackson with Eckerman in the pistol, one back, one wing left, two receivers. Here's a handoff. And up the middle, outstretching to about the 40-yard line goes Foster Stanley. We saw him make some good runs last week, spelling Satterfield for one possession. Actually scored a touchdown on that possession, with Foster Stanley carrying the ball, I think, on every play. He gets 5 yards here, second down, and 5. He'll get it again. And he has a seam, and he has a first down out close to the 48. Polar Bears were just here a little while ago with a 1st and 10 on their 48-yard line. 2 plays later, they fumbled, and Perry took advantage for a 7-0 lead. Foster Stanley, a senior, 6 feet, 180. They have Keegan Stanley as a wing to the right. 2 receivers right, 1 to the near side. Stanley up the middle. This time they get him low just as he gets to the line of scrimmage. And he'll go down at around the Perry 49. We're under a minute to go in the first quarter. Panthers lead 7-0. Perry's gotten a couple of things done through the air into the wind. Jackson has not, with the wind at their back. 2nd and 7. Eckerman now rolling to the right. Throws out far sideline and a catch down on the ground. Made by Max Coles, and he'll be down at the 45. And it'll be 3rd down and 3 here for Jackson. They don't have to run another play here before the end of the quarter.
The way you would is if you want that wind behind you.
Looks like they're going to try to get one more play off. They have 13 seconds, and they are lined up. Eckerman, hands off, up the middle, first down for Stanley, inside the 40 to the 39. They'll stop the clock with 4.5 seconds, but it will start right away, and that will be the end of the first quarter. From Perry, after 1, it's the Panthers 7 and Jackson nothing. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio. Featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford,
coming out of the game. Look at
Dodge, and more. Experience a fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different.
Good forward lean.
Sarshone today, or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at Sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
7-0 Perry after one. Stay tuned for the Paramount Elite Player of the Game following tonight's broadcast. Paramount Elite for all your general contracting and home restoration needs. Panthers with a 35-yard touchdown pass to take a 7-0 lead in this one. Louisville up 7-6 late first quarter. And McKinley leads Green 6-0. Missed PAT there. So we are off and running on another Friday night of high school football. Here's Foster trying the left side. Waits, turns back inside, and gets nice yardage again. About 4 yards for Foster Stanley. You said you like the way he runs the ball.
Yeah, he definitely is a good forward lean. That was a nice patient run. Most of the time he's just hitting the hole and getting upfield, getting those tough yards, 3-4 yards a pop, but always a forward lean. He gets that extra yard, 2 yards. He's a 6-foot kid.
He'll get it again up the middle and stacked up. So he gets inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line. So it'll be third down. And about 3 yards to go here for Jackson now going into this wind, gusting to 30 miles per hour. Goldie the Goat is here tonight from the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame mascot. You got to be the GOAT to get in the Hall of Fame and get that gold jacket. So Goldie the Goat is here. Trips near side, one out to the left on 3rd and 3. Eckerman stops, throws far side, incomplete. Like maybe a little bit of early contact, but no whistle. Pass was high, intended for Nathan Kuntz. And that'll bring up a 4th down and 3 here for, actually 4th and almost 4 for the Polar Bears on the 33-yard line. I guess maybe you throw that pass intending to go on 4th down, as they will here. Jackson into the wind on 4th and 4. Eckerman takes the snap, rolling near side, throws to the sideline. It's caught, and it will be a first down. Catch made by Max Coles at the 27-yard line. So a pickup of 6. Pass on target from Eckerman. And Jackson moved the chains. 10:40 to go first half. 7-0 Perry.
A nice sprint out there by Eckerman, and great route by Coles. Gets past the down marker, got plenty of room to come back to the ball and still pick up the first down.
On first down, it is Satterfield again back in there. And he'll pick up a couple. Christian Satterfield to the 25. He's averaging 4.4 per carry. Stanley a little over 4. So that's a nice 1-2 punch for the Polar Bears. Satterfield will be the slot to the left now with Kuntz out wide left, 2 to the near side, 3 to the near side actually. And they'll give it to Satterfield on the end around. And he's down on a nice play at the 22-yard line as Austin Maddox came up from the safety position. Looked like they might have something cooking there. But Maddox brings him down on the 22. And it will be 3rd down and 5 for Jackson. If there's anything Perry's seen in practice, that's an end around.
End around, yeah.
Polar Bears looking to the near side for the play from their head coach Jay Rohr and his staff. 8 on the play clock. Eckerman, empty backfield, and now Perry's going to call a timeout. So we'll take a break. 9:27, first half, Perry 7, Jackson nothing. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
High school football exemplifies the true meaning of teamwork. At Friends and Family Credit Union, our team of local friendly professionals offer the same true spirit for our members with a wide array of products from vehicle loans to personal loans, family secure checking with ID Protect, mortgage, home equity line of credit, and more. For over 60 years, we have the game plan for your financial well-being. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations online or mobile banking. Now, more than ever, it's time to bring a friend into the family.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Perry uses their first time out of the half on defense. 9:27 to go in the second quarter. Panthers lead Jackson 7-0 in the Polar Bears with a 3rd and 5 at the Perry 22. Ball the near hash mark. They'll come out with 3 out wide to the left, 2 to the near side right, and Eckerman back to throw. Steps up, fires middle. Caught, crossing the field. Max Coles, 10-5, touchdown, Jackson. The pass and catch were good, but the run was even better there for Max Coles to get into the end zone. Some good blocking downfield. Coles with his 2nd touchdown of the season. And Lucas Eckerman with his 9th scoring pass.
Yeah, Coles showed a burst of speed there. I mean, it was a real nice run after the catch.
Extra point by Cooper Miser is up and good. He's now 13 of 13 on the season. And with 9:20 to go in the first half, we're tied at 7. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Ready to elevate your look? Step into Clover House Salon, where luxury meets style. Katie opened Clover House in 2023, bringing over 12 years of experience to Jackson Township. Katie and her team take pride in providing luxury services and staying up on trends so you can look and feel your best. Whether it's a fresh cut, vibrant color, or fresh gel manicure, Clover House has you covered. Looking for your next career move? Clover House offers booth rentals. Visit Clover House Salon and experience the difference. Follow them on social media for their latest transformation and to book your appointment.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
So each team has thrown a touchdown pass into the wind. So apparently,
just like we predicted.
We are tied at 7 as Cooper Miser, the junior, gets set to kick off. 2 back for Perry at the 5-yard line. Kick is high and knocked down by the wind. It's going to come down around the 13-yard line to the 20, and that's Walker out to the 21-yard line. Again, good coverage by the Polar Bears. And again, it was Zach Saleh on the tackle for Jackson. So Perry, with the wind at their back now in the second quarter, starts at their 21-yard line. Jackson went 60 yards on their last possession, aided by the kickoff out of bounds. And they come out with 1 back, 3 receivers, and there will be a handoff running right. It'll be Belknap trying to sweep right in and cutting inside a block and going to the 23. So a couple yards on that play. 2nd and 8. Perry sends Jaden Wilson out far to the right. 1 inside him, 1 wide near side, and a wing right. Maddox handles the wide snap, throws it back near side to Belknap, and he's dragged down from behind by Saleh, who's been all over the field here in the first half for the Polar Bears, making another tackle there, pulling down the receiver very near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there's a lot of timing to that play, that screen play, and he bobbled the snap out of the shotgun, and it just his offensive lineman got downfield. They were 15 yards in front of him instead of 5, like you'd want that play. but a great open field tackle.
Empty backfield here for Maddox. 4 wide receivers and a wing right. Walker goes in motion out to the right, and the snap again is wide. Maddox will take it. He's going to run, and he's out across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And I think he has a first down. That worked out all right. Nolan Foster makes the stop. They'll put him on the 32, and it could have been a disaster there for Perry, but it ends up with a first down run by Austin Maddox.
Yeah, a play like that is just a broken play, and Jackson's being disciplined, like we said earlier, and, you do your discipline, and all of a sudden there's just a broken play, and the quarterback just takes off and scrambles and picks up the first down.
They're also snapping into the wind here. I don't know if that's having any effect, but about a 7-yard snap into about a 30-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah.
And it looks like both times the ball is kind of swerved to the right side of the quarterback. Comes a man in motion, and another bad snap. And this time it's going to be a loss as Maddox picks the ball up back on the 27, and he's going to be tackled there. So they'll lose about 5 yards on that play. That snap was a little low, and he just couldn't field it. So 2nd and 15 for Perry, 6:50 to go in the first half. 7-7 our score on the SARTA scoreboard.
Yeah, weather like this, you coach a lot of shotgun quarterbacks, and you just got to be ready for snaps like tonight, and you got to be able to catch those.
McKinley up on Green, 12-0 now in the first quarter. Hoover up on Glen Oaks, 7-0. Carrollton 10, Marlington nothing on the SARTA scoreboard. Here's Maddox back to throw. Immediate pressure. Steps up, fires deep down the middle, and just overthrown. Intended for Jaden Wilson. Running down the middle of the field. He had a step on Geisinger. But the pass just a little too far.
Yeah, he wanted to step up there, and Nolan Foster just took away that pass. He couldn't get into a pocket and actually complete that. They were trying to run a post from the backside and just didn't have the opportunity to get the ball there.
Perry punt team ran on the field, but it's only 3rd down. It's 3rd and 15, so they all ran back off. They were basically out to the middle of the field. So we'll have to make sure they got the right amount of people on the field. 5 on the play clock as the Panthers come to the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 15. Maddox under center and another Perry timeout. They weren't going to get that play off. So a timeout here with 6:20 to go in the first half. 7-7. Jackson and Perry. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level.
Games like this, we don't understand
Education beyond high school.
These
Upon
kids
completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to
right.
a well-paying job in many exciting career fields.
That's what
We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
On the SARTA scoreboard, Northwest 14, Tuslaw 7 in the second quarter. Here it's Jackson 7, Perry 7, and the Panthers with a 3rd and 15 on their 27-yard line. And whistles and what? Game started out very crisply, but it's kind of deteriorated here in the last few minutes, and that's going to be a penalty against the Panthers. Back them up to the 22, and it'll be 3rd and 20. Make a shift on the offensive line, and they'll also bring in a play with a receiver from the far side of the field, which is the home side, actually, here at Perry. Jaden Wilson in with the play. He'll go out wide to the far side right. Austin Maddox under center. 3rd and 20. Gives it to Kyson Walker, trying to turn right in. Cuts back and runs right into a Jackson defender. And that's Zach Brucker, who got him right on the number 4 on his chest. And stopped that play at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, the hole was there. The running back just kind of kept his eye off where the trap was, and we got stuff blowing on the field now.
Yeah, sign a round sign, I think off the fence, down to our right blue and rolled on its edge all the way out to the, it might still be going. The referee stopped it at the 15-yard line. That was impressive. So the Panthers will punt on 4th and 18 on their 24. Return man way back at his 25-yard line, waiting this kick by Huggins, and it's Calando coming up to take it on the 30. Comes near side 35. Perry all over him there at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, he's 50 yards back there, but, you know, you want to come up on the ball, especially like a night tonight. It could be a little tricky catching those punts with the wind swirling around up there.
46 on the kick and about 8 on the return. So Jackson 1st and 10 on their 38 with 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. They are tied with Perry at 7-7. They scored on their last possession. And they'll send out 2 receivers far to the left, 1 to the near side. Lucas Eckerman turns, hands it off, and up the middle goes Foster Stanley, and now it's a rugby scrum in the middle of the field. The whistle doesn't blow, and it's kind of just 2 big groups of guys pushing against each other. They'll stop him on the 42. That's going to be about a 4-yard gain.
I would say there was 22 guys in that pile, but Eckerman was smart and stayed out of that nonsense.
Or at least 20.
Yeah.
5 minutes left in the first half. Huge Federal League game for Jackson and Perry. The loser will have 2 losses before the end of September. Handoff. Nope. Fake handoff. Throw over the middle for Calando and too high, a little behind him, and he couldn't haul it in. Coverage by Jaden Wilson with the pass just a little high and wide for Calando, and he had to go through his hands, incomplete.
Yeah, a night like tonight, you got to make those catches. They're not going to be perfect, but
it is on the 42, 3rd and 6 for the Polar Bears. They look to the near side for the play. And it's being signaled in now with 10 on the play clock. Again, they go with 2 out to the left, 2 to the near side, tight end to wing left. Eckerman with 3, with 2, and with 1. A timeout is called as it took them too long to get that play in.
We had a little miscommunication out there with the slot and the wide out, which one was supposed to be inside, which one was supposed to be outside.
So with 4:46 to go in the first half, a reminder to stay tuned for the Putman Properties halftime show. We will have news, we will have scores, we will have highlights of our first half, and we'll let you know about the first week of playoff numbers from the OHSAA. Never too early to talk about that.
No, a lot of teams get in now, but you want those home games, the first 2 if you can. So that's another big thing about tonight's game. A lot of computer points.
Northwest up 16-7 over Tuslaw now on the Sardis scoreboard. They got a safety, did the Indians. 3rd and 6 here for Jackson out of the timeout. Tight end Stanley to the near right side, 3 out to the left, 1 in the backfield. Roll out to the left, throw far sideline. It's caught at midfield, and it'll be a first down for the Polar Bears. That catch by Nathan Kuntz. And it picks up about 8 yards. And the ball right on the 50-yard line. 1st and 10. 4:40 to go in the first half, 7-7. Each team scoring going into the wind, which is still pretty brisk, but not like it was earlier. And no rain right now. Here's a handoff. Stanley looking for a hole. Puts his head down and gets through to the 42, maybe the 41-yard line. And another instance there of Stanley being very patient and then pushing the pile forward. Picks up 8 yards.
Yeah, he just very sound running back. Just, nothing fancy, nothing flashy.
So 8 yards on the pickup, 2nd and 2. Coles and Calando to the near side, 1 out to the left, wing left. Stanley tries the middle again. Not much room. And I don't know if he made the stripe. They're going to spot him just a little bit short of the 40-yard line, so a few inches short of the first down, it looks like. Be third down as we're at 3:40 left, and Jackson right back to the line of scrimmage. Same formation, 3 receivers in a wing, and they'll run it up the middle. Stanley has to bounce it to the left, and he has his first down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, I like that call, or just that play itself. You know, that's an old Urban Meyer's trick. When they get inside the red zone, inside the 5, you have 3 or 4 plays that you just call a number out, and the same goes for short yardage. So you don't get the defense time to set up, kind of catch them on their heels.
We'll be at under 3 minutes when this play starts in the first half. Jackson with a 1st and 10 on the Perry 39. 2 out to the left, 1 near side, wing left. Now roll right, throw, catch, Calando to the 31-yard line. Pulled down by Jaden Wilson in space. They pick up about 7 or 8 on that play. Call it 8 to the 31. Jackson with 2 timeouts remaining. Perry has 1. Calando comes to the near side. 2 out to the left. Handoff Satterfield up the middle. The hole closes quickly. He gets to the 30, maybe the 29. He's going to be close to a first down, and he will have it. So Jackson moved the chains again as we're going to get this play off around the 2-minute mark of the first half. 7-7 our score. Jackson taking over after a Perry punt. Scored in their last possession and looking good again on this one. 2 out to the left, 1 to the near side, wing left. Handoff, Satterfield, nothing in the middle, bounces left, cuts it upfield, takes it to the 24-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd and 5. We're at 1:45 of the first half. Jackson doing a great job here, just grinding out yards and time. They would like to take the lead on the last play of the half, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 to the near side, 1 out to the left. Wing near side right. Play action, throw near side, caught by Coles, gets a block, breaks a tackle, breaks another, still moving down the near sideline to the 10 to the 5. No signal yet. Touchdown. 2nd touchdown grab of the night for the junior. And again, showing off the wheels. Like he didn't have the angle, but he was able to take it down the sideline and dive in for the score.
Yeah, just a quick bubble pass there, and he took care of the rest. He's only 5'7", 150 pounds, so he doesn't like getting hit, and that's you can see the way he moves. He is quick, and he has a burst to him.
2 TDs tonight, 3 on the season. Extra point by Meiser all the way, and good. Timeout, 1:13 to go in the first half. Jackson 14, Perry 7. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
By choosing Life Care Family Health and Dental in Canton as your medical home, you'll have access to a variety of integrated health services, including dental, vision, women's health, children's health, and behavioral health. Life Care's goal is to provide comprehensive and coordinated medical care to maximize health outcomes for you and your family. If you are sick, we have same-day appointments for our current patients. For information on how to become a new patient, visit lifecarefhoc.org. At Life Care Family Health and Dental, you will never get turned away.
This is High School Football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Stay tuned for the Paramount Elite Player of the Game following tonight's broadcast. Paramount Elite for all your general contracting and home restoration needs. Jackson drives for their 2nd touchdown pass from Lucas Eckerman to Max Coles. And the Polar Bears were down 7-0, but they're up now 14-7 with just over a minute to go in the first half. Putman Properties halftime show coming up. as Miser runs up and boots it high, held up by the wind, and it's going to bounce, and it's still loose, and it's fallen on by Lawhon at the 19-yard line. They were going to let the deep man come up and get it, but the ball just never got back there. Bounced once, and Lawhon alertly jumped up, grabbed it, and went to the turf. So first and 10 Perry, but they got a long way to go, 80 yards and 1:13 left and one timeout. Man comes in motion. They hand her the ball. It is Lemon around the end of the 23-yard line. He's down inbounds. As Kuntz brings him down along with Mitch Brocker. 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7. Under a minute. As Maddox waits, takes the snap, runs right up the middle, runs into the pile, and bounces off, tries to keep going, but he'll be brought down for a loss. Kyler Bailing into the backfield to make that tackle. 42.7 left. Player lost his helmet, so he'll come out. They reset the play clock, and now the game clock will restart. Stopped it for the helmet problem. And Perry has the player running in from the far side of the field with the play, but they don't seem to have a whole lot of urgency. With a 2nd and 3rd and 8 on their 22 in the final 25 seconds of this first half. This time it's Walker in motion, right? They hand the ball to him on the sweep, makes a nice move, takes it across the 25 to the 27. That's all he will get. That'll be short of a first down, and it doesn't look like either team inclined to call a timeout here in the final 5 seconds. So the teams will head to the locker rooms on this very windy night at Perry. And after 2 quarters of play, our score on the Sarda scoreboard is the Jackson Polar Bears 14 and the Perry Panthers 7. When we come back, we'll have the Putman Properties halftime show. We'll have news. We'll have scores of other games. We'll also have some highlights of this game, and we will take a first look at computer points for 2024 as they're officially released this week. So we'll have all that coming up. Again, our halftime score, Jackson 14, Perry 7. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Ladies, are you ready to refresh your wardrobe and home? Discover Bird's Nest Boutique and Decor, your local treasure right here in the heart of Jackson Township. Step inside and explore the latest women's fashions, always on trend, fun, and affordable. The home decor selection at Bird's Nest
off the wall in his bathroom and broke the bathroom door. Court records say Terry yelled obscenities and made threats within earshot of law enforcement, hospital security, and employees. He also is accused of telling staff he would slit their throats and wanted a gun to shoot employees and their families. Nimishillen Township trustees Thursday approved several purchases totaling $376,892. WDPN's David Schur reports.
RT Hampton will install two 50-gallon gas water heaters at station number 1 on Broadway Avenue Northeast for $4,045. Atlantic Energy Solutions will provide a 2023 Ford F-450 custom ambulance for $316,632. Stryker MTS will provide a Stryker Pro Ambulance cot at $60,083. And Third Day Restorations will install two F-550 trucks and one international dump truck with undercoating for $2,482.
Ray Hexamer is stepping down as president and CEO of the Stark Economic Development Board. The repository reports the board recently advertised the position online. It is accepting applications through October 25th. Hexamer says he expects a new person in place early next year. He began in the position in 2016. More news after this.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. So go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
Salem police are investigating a shooting that occurred Thursday morning just before 2 a.m. Officers responded to reports of gunfire in the 500 block of North Ellsworth Avenue. Several rounds were fired into a home. No one was injured. Police believe it was a targeted attack. The house was previously linked to drug activity. It was the focus of an investigation by the Columbiana County Drug Task Force. Kent police say an 11-year-old student is in custody for making a threat of a school shooting. He reportedly made the threat in a text message to another student who notified police. Stanton Middle School was closed today out of an abundance of caution. The boy was arrested this morning and charged with making terroristic threats. He's being held in the Portage Juvenile Detention Center. Authorities say they executed a search warrant at a former church in Mahoning County's Coatesville Township. Township police were joined this morning by sheriff's deputies, the FBI, and other law enforcement agencies at the former Coatesville Presbyterian Church on Coatesville Hubbard Road. WKBN-TV reports the warrant was served after a year-long joint investigation with the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force and Law Enforcement Task Force. 5 people living in the church were detained. Charges are pending. An ambulance stolen from the Warren Township Fire Department this morning has turned up in Youngstown. The vehicle was found in Homestead Park around 1 p.m. Authorities aren't sure who could have stolen the vehicle or how they had access to it. Around 6 a.m., the ambulance was taken from an unmanned station on North River Road. A few hours later, a passerby called police after seeing one of the station's garage doors open. Warren Township police are investigating the theft. We'll return you to the stadium for the second half of tonight's game, right after the forecast from News 5 meteorologist Mark Johnson. For the Putman Properties halftime show, I'm Jeff Mears in the Q92 newsroom.
Drying out overnight tonight. It's still going to be windy, wind gusts to 30 miles per hour, our low 65 degrees. Saturday, clouds on the increase, an isolated rain shower here and there, a high of 78. I am Mark J. Weather from News 5.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. There are several ways to ride SARTA. Pay your fare the way you want. Use our Easy Fare app to get your ticket on the go. Tap to pay with SARTA Score and Touchdown cards. You can even pay with exact change in cash. The price is right and you can purchase at any of our transit centers. Tickets start as low as $1.50 per ride, or you can get a 30-day pass for $45. That's how you get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. Visit SARTAonline.com/smart.
Did you know in 1885, Frank and Charles Menches invented the hamburger at the Erie County Fair in Hamburg, New York? Today, Menches continues their legacy with the same ingredients to make their burgers fresh every day and never frozen. Stop in at Menches downtown Massillon and in Canton on West Tusk for Burger Day every Wednesday and get $3 off all burgers. Menches Brothers, you call it a hamburger, we invented it.
RG Drag, Stark County's premier career center, offers programs that prepares its students at the high school level for careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Dreg students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a well-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering, sports turf and landscape, welding, and so much more. Contact RG Dreg to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Dreg, where careers begin.
Since 1962, DeHoff Realtors has been a cornerstone of the Jackson community. Proud supporters of the Jackson local schools, we're committed to helping our neighbors buy and sell homes with expertise and integrity. Visit us at DeHoff.com or call us at 330-499-8153. And let's champion your next move together. Go Polar Bears! DeHoff Realtors, your championship team in real estate dedicated to serving the Jackson community with pride.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Welcome back to Perry, Keith Wakefield Stadium. Let's send it down to the field and the Jackson High School Marching Band. The Jackson Polar Bear Marching Band, and it is halftime here at Perry with the Polar Bears ahead of the Perry Panthers by a score of 14-7. And let's take a look at how we got to 14-7 in that first half. The Perry Panthers were the first team to get on the board. They were going into the wind in the first quarter, but that did not stop them from going to the air to get on the board first. They go 4 wide. There goes Lemon in motion now out to the left side, and Maddox will roll that way. Stops, rusher in his face, throw down the middle, caught for a touchdown. Tyson Walker crossing the middle of the field, hit perfectly by Austin Maddox. And a 24-yard touchdown pass gets Perry on the board. Extra point was good, and Perry took a 7-0 lead. Then we switched ends, and it was the Jackson Polar Bears going into the wind, and they got the first of their 2 touchdowns in the first half. 2 to the near side right, and Eckerman back to throw. Steps up, fires middle, caught, crossing the field. Max Coles, 10-5, touchdown, Jackson. Extra point was good. It was 7-7. After Perry was forced to punt the ball away, Jackson got it back again and spent most of the rest of the first half on a second touchdown drive. 2 to the near side, 1 out to the left. Wing near side right. Play action, throw near side, caught by Coles, gets a block, breaks a tackle, breaks another, still moving down the near sideline to the 10 to the 5. No signal yet. Touchdown. Extra point was good. And it was 14-7 in the final moments of the first half. Perry got the ball, but ran it a couple of times, and the first half ended with the Polar Bears up by a score of 14-7. And that's where we stand right now. As we have a chance, let's take a look at some computer numbers. Clint Scroggs here with Brian Beatty. Ryan Bevere under the weather this week, so he's at home. Maybe he just saw the weather forecast. Maybe that was what happened there. Instead of, I'm not gonna say he's not sick. I'm just saying we could all read the weather forecast. In any case, starting in Division I, Canton McKinley, who has a lead tonight over Green, is on top of that game, and they are fifth right now at 3-2. Mentor is first, Perrysburg, St. Edward, and Toledo Whitmer. Though St. Edward lost yesterday, is that correct?
Yes, and Glenville got them by 1, 28-27.
Then you've got Lorraine sixth and Jackson. This Jackson team is seventh in that region. Glen Oak tied with Hoover at 7 tonight. They are at the bottom of that region. In Division II, Region 5, Green is third, and Lake is seventh. Both of those teams 4-1. Hoover is ninth at 3-2. Louisville at 2-3 coming in tonight. They're playing Central Catholic, and they are in 19th in that region. Some jumbling this year as teams that used to be all together are not anymore. Down in Region 7 now, Massillon is fifth at 3-1. Perry sixth at 3-2. They're in there with a bunch of Columbus schools: Big Walnut, Walnut Ridge, Ashland, DeSales, Canal Winchester, Columbus St. Charles, Westerville South, et cetera, in that Region 7. Division 3, Region 11, Carrollton is 16th at 3-2. Division 4, Region 13, West Branch 5-0 is third. Northwest is fifth at 4-1. In Region 15, Canton South at 2-3 is ninth in that region. In Division 5, Region 17, Fairless is 14th at 3-2. Sandy Valley 16th. Central is 17th. Tusky Valley is 18th, all with right around 500 records. In Division 6, Region 21, United Local is 7th at 4-1. Tuslaw is 15th at 2-3. And in Division 7, you've got Western Reserve leading the way. Hillsdale next. You got Warren JFK in there in fifth place. East Palestine, Waterloo, Lisbon, Anderson, all in that region in Division 7, but not much in our area in those schools. And you like to talk about those things, but I don't know. Is it worth talking about at this point, or can you get something out of that?
No, I the kids are going to look into it. They're going to see, but matchups. I've been in on a Friday night of Week 10 where you were sitting at sixth, and by midnight you were out of the playoffs. So everything changes right up to Week 10. Who you're going to play, strength of schedule, everything comes in. Who wins, who loses, the upsets that way. But that Division 7 you were saying. The years we made good playoffs runs, that's the region we were in. We would go down to Columbus and play some of those teams. And it's just.
That's right. I remember a St. Charles game, I think, was a big game for Louisville in the past. And so, a lot of those schools in that region. Let's take a look at the SARTA scoreboard right now. Let's see. Salem leads Alliance 7-6 at halftime. Hoover and Glen Oak are at the half 7-7. Carrollton 10, Marlington 7 at halftime. Northwest up 23-7 over Tuslaw. And let's see if we can find some others here. Manchester 21, Canton South 7. West Branch over Minerva 50-0. Lake 55-0 over Kennedy. Indian Valley 35, Sandy Valley 7. The McKinley Green score now is 12-10 in favor of McKinley Bulldogs. They're both Bulldogs. Cummerstown leads East Canton 14-7. Orville 24, Fairless 0. And no score in on Aquinas and Rootstown right now. So let's take another time out here. We'll come back and we'll talk more about this game and get you ready for the second half as you're listening to the Putman Properties Halftime Report Jackson on top of Perry 14-7. Take a timeout. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different.
Games that we've been on the home
Sarshone
side
today, or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at
Louisville
Sarshone.
when you were there. And
Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
Looking for that perfect summer glow all year round? Carolina
Already
Sun
week 6.
located at 3535 Wales Road. We are your go-to spot for premium tanning services. And guess what? You can save big with our Membership Monday deals. Just find us on Facebook to unlock exclusive offers. Whether you're getting ready for a special event or just want to keep that sun-kissed look, Jesse's team at Carolina Sun is here to help. Visit us today and shine brighter tomorrow. Carolina Sun, where the sun always shines.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
You can't hear these guys. Barely hear them.
Yeah.
14-7 our score at halftime. And we've seen this before this year with Perry starting out really well, especially on the ground game, but then slowing down as the half went on. They had some problems with penalties and a couple of bad snaps on their last possession. They kind of lost the plot there at the end of the first half, whereas Jackson maybe started out slowly, but by the end of the half, they were far the better team.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know, they took the momentum into halftime for sure. And like you said, just some miscues from Perry. You go into halftime, you're not really looking to make adjustments. I think each team pretty knew what each team was going to do. And now you're just going to look them in the eyes and say, who's going to step up, make the plays, and win this ball game for us. There's not a lot of X and O's putting up on the board right now. I don't think they've seen anything they weren't expecting in this game. So it's looking to the kids and saying, hey, you got to make a football play and you'll get this win.
Well, both coaches were talking about mistakes made last week. Jay Rohr about penalties and about not finishing that game. They hadn't allowed a point, I don't think, in the second half to Green until the last drive, and they let Green go almost 90 yards for the winning touchdown. It was a crazy play at the end, but still they allowed him to go down the field. Also had some penalties thrown in there. They had great field position the entire second quarter and couldn't get any points out of it. So it was a heartbreaking loss, but there were a lot of things that they did themselves that kind of led up to that. Perry, on the other hand, never was in that game against McKinley. Talking to Zach Slates this week, he was talking about, missed assignments and missed opportunities and missed tackles and things like that. And that's where you're talking about which team is going to make those plays, which team is going to cut down on the penalties and the turnovers and the drop balls and the missed tackles, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, exactly. Max Cowles with 2 great touchdown runs, but a lot of open field tackles that were missed. You got to get that under control, and what his speed is now. You're not going to be caught off guard in the second half. But yeah, you just can't. And they're high school kids, and I've been there, done that. I understand where they, you get the mental lapse here and there, but it's week 6, and you got to play football. You got to take care of the snap. And like I said, I think time of possession has to be pretty well 50-50, it seems like. It's every time you get the ball, you got to take advantage of what you can do with it.
The Perry Band finishing up on the far side of the field. Let's see if we can check them out a little bit. It is homecoming tonight at Perry, and the Panthers trailing the Jackson Polar Bears by a score of 14-7. take one more timeout. We'll come back and get ready for the second half kickoff. Jackson 14, Perry 7. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Orange ticket 752041. The winner is going to get $460.
Welcome back to Perry. Jackson 14, Perry 7 at halftime. Clint Scroggs and Brian Beatty. Weather's calmed down a little bit. Still very breezy, but no rain in a while. I don't know if we're expecting any more. I don't think so. Rain tonight from the remnants of Hurricane Helene.
You know, we're blessed with turf fields now. I remember when I was playing, rain, they always said the offense had the advantage because the defensive backs would slip. You knew where the route you were running, where you were going. They had a backpedal. But that's kind of changed now with all the turf fields out there.
Next week's schedule, that'll be week 7 already next week. Brian and I are scheduled to be at Benson Stadium for Hoover and McKinley, but that could change during the week. Our AM game with Christian Bigglesworth on WDPN, West Branch and Marlington. The other games next week, Greene and Glen Oak, Lake and Jackson, Perry and Fitch, Central Catholic and Mogadore, and Triway and Canton South. Our scheduled matchups next week for another Score 7 Friday night. Teams back out on the field. Perry getting ready to kick off. They're wearing the black jerseys tonight with the white numbers and trim, white pants, black helmet with the white face mask and the block letter P on either side in white. Jackson, the white jerseys again tonight, the yellow pants, purple and yellow trim, yellow helmets with a purple face mask, and the polar bear depicted on either side. So we're about ready to go. The second half in a 14-7 game in favor of the Panthers. But first, the wind blows the ball off the tee. It's a little anticlimactic run up to the second half. Noah Calando and Christian Satterfield back to receive the kick for Jackson. Ball in the air with the wind at his back. And that one's going to be 7 or 8 yards deep in the end zone. And it'll be a touchback and 1st and 10 on the 20 for the Jackson Polar Bears going into the wind here in the third quarter. But all the points have been scored going into the wind tonight, which we were totally whiffed on that one. We thought it would be a big factor in the game, but it hasn't really hampered either team offensively.
No, just a lot of short passes. Nothing real long, but, you don't want to put a lot of air on the ball. I guess tonight you want those short, quick passes with a lot of zip on it to get through the wind itself.
Lucas Eckerment, the junior quarterback for the Polar Bears in the pistol. One back, two receivers near side, one out to the left, and can't get started before there's a flag. It's going to be a false start on Jackson, and just like that, they're behind the chains. Not many penalties in that first half. I don't know if we had any major penalties at all the 5-yard variety. Kickoff out of bounds. That was about it.
I think we had 2 procedure calls, and that was it the whole game, first half.
So 1st and 15 here for Jackson. Dangerous spot here back in their own 15-yard line with a 7-point lead. Looks like Foster Stanley is the running back. It's play action. Eckerment looking right to throw. Now he rolls left, throws, and it's caught across the 25. Noah Calando with a catch brought down by Maddox at the 28-yard line. So a good throw and catch to get back the penalty yardage, plus about 8 more. So it'll be 2nd and 2.
Yeah, Eckerman was looking to the right to Cowles, and then went back to the second read to the left.
Here's Foster trying the right end, and he is going to be crunched at about the 30-yard line. A couple of Perry Panthers were there, including Dom Scott, to make that tackle. So it'll be 3rd down and less than a yard here for Jackson. They'll go right to the line of scrimmage. And it's Foster running right. 1st down and more. Across the 35 and out to the 38-yard line. Brought down by Jaden Wilson, but the Polar Bears overcome the false start penalty and pick up the 1st down from the 38-yard line. Just underway in the second half. Jackson with a 7-point lead. Perry scored first in the first quarter. Jackson a couple of scores in the second. Now they'll send 2 out to the far side left, 1 to the near side. Wing left, 1 back. It's a fake handoff and a throw. Calando can't reach back and get it. Again, that pass to the near side of the field was behind the receiver. That's the way the wind would be pushing the ball. And Calando, again, not able to reach back and pull it in. 2nd and 10. Calando, the leading receiver coming in tonight, with 16 catches. I believe he only has 1 here tonight so far, averaging 23 yards a catch. Cowles, who has 2 touchdowns tonight, averaging 24 yards a catch. Here's a throw out to the far side. It's caught. Nice move inside, a block by Cowles. Again, he turns it upfield and goes out to the 45-yard line. It's going to leave him about 2 yards short of a 1st down. Brought down on the play by Connor Shepard. 3rd down, we'll call it 3 on the 45 for Jackson.
That's just a long handoff, a long bubble pass to the left there, and a great block by the receiver. I didn't get his number, but he's open field block.
3rd down and 3. Polar Bears looked like they were going to start the play, but now they straighten up and look to the near sideline. Get the final signal. 2 receivers near side, 1 out to the left. They'll give it to Stanley up the middle, and he's going to be stopped short. They'll stop him on the 46. That'll leave him a yard short, or maybe a little more than that. Maybe 2 yards short on the 46-yard line. So we'll see what Jackson will do here. Looks like they're going to send the punt team out. I think we've only had 1 punt tonight.
One or 2. I'm trying to remember. I know we had the one who was back on the 15. I think we had 1 on the other side. Correct. Here.
This will be Miser.
We got a spread formation here.
He averages 37.5 per punt, but the wind has picked back up again, and he's kicking right into it. They've got 3 receivers to either side, and now Jackson's going to call a timeout. They have Perry spread out, but they're going to call a timeout here with 9:04 to go in the 3rd. Interesting situation, interesting call there by Jay Rohr.
Yeah, I think they were trying to set something up, and they weren't lined up right. And the line judge on the side was trying to get them lined up right. You know, you got some linemen that are out wide that aren't on the ball, which are supposed to be on the ball. So, they were trying to, I think, maybe set something up, maybe to spread them out and maybe run a little dive up the middle. But since they weren't lined up, they had to call timeout early.
So 2 timeouts left for Jackson. We'll see if that comes back to be a problem. McKinley leads Green at halftime 12-10 on the Sarda scoreboard.
Looks like they're going to get back in the same formation.
And Miser lined up to punt. Now they bring in 2 wide men from either side and more of a normal formation. Snap back is good, and the punt to the near side, and the wind is going to push it straight to the near side of the field, and it takes a sideways bounce and is going to be down on the 40-yard line. That is a 14-yard punt by Miser. And Jay Rohr not happy with his kicker there. Don't know if they had something else set up, but you can't kick the ball high into the wind like that.
We had a game a couple weeks ago where every punt was a line drive. You need those kind of punts tonight. You can get that ball up in the air, it's going to come backwards.
About 10 yards off the ground, end over end, and just let it hit and bounce. So Perry will have it. Halftime score, DeMatha Catholic leading Massillon 10-7. So Perry with the ball for the first time in the second half from their 42, going from our right to our left. Austin Maddox hands off up the middle, and it's Shepard trying to battle his way through and picks up a couple of yards on his own. Didn't have much blocking there, but was able to bounce off some people and take it to the 44-yard line. It will be second down and 8:38 to go in the third quarter. Perry trailing 14-7. And from the wing tee, turn, give, Shepard, right tackle, and out to about the 49-yard line. Goes the big running back. And we have a player down for Perry. Can't tell who that is. Connor Shepard, 6 feet and 220. We said, at least going into last week's game, it was their leading rusher and tackler, but he's been passed in the rushing game. And still can't tell who that Perry player is down on the 46-yard line. It'll be third and about 3 here for the Panthers from their 49. When the next play begins, we're at 8:05 left in the third. Looking at his left leg, and that is, I believe, Carter Foster, number 8. Yep, he's going to hobble off to the far side of the field. Maybe an ankle, maybe a cramp. I'm not quite sure.
You know, I said earlier, you know, there's still humidity out there. You know, you're sweating. You're really a lot of effort with the temperature. You know, it's windy and stuff, but that humidity drains you quick.
It's 84% on my trusty phone weather app. So a very strange night for football here in the last Friday night of September. Perry with a 3rd and 3 on their 49. Austin Maddox under center. 1 back, 2 wings. Give over the right side. Shepard hits, struggles forward. And again, mostly on his own, is going to be close to a first down at about the Jackson 48-yard line. They're going to eyeball it first, and now they're going to call it a first down. We had a measurement this year. I don't know, maybe we have, but
not that I can remember, no.
Yeah. They don't take much time. They just eyeball it.
Start the officials now are kind of taught to put it on a yard marker, you know, a yard line, you know, so it's a little bit more easier. And, you know, you don't have the old grass field where, you know, the janitor might have lined it crooked a little bit. So
here's Maddox back to throw. Wants to go deep. Has a man inside the 20. And the pass just over his hands. Incomplete. Intended for Kyson Walker down inside the 10-yard line. He had a step on Van Reerden, but again, with the wind at his back, Maddox overshoots his receiver by just a hair. And now it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, just a straight seam route to go. And he had the DB beat there, and just like you said, overthrew him. A little extra wind.
Walker, the leading receiver for the Panthers this year. He's caught 11 coming in tonight for 145 yards and 1 touchdown. Here's a give over the right side. Shepard cuts back, breaks a tackle, still going, and he dives and rolls forward to the 41-yard line. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and maybe 3 here for Perry. We're at 6:55, clock running, 3rd quarter. Jackson on top, 14-7 on the Sardis scoreboard. And again, I think all the touchdowns have come from outside the RG Drake red zone tonight. We haven't had anything inside that. They've all been 20 yards or more, and all through the air, and all into the wind. Maddox turns, gives to Shepard up the middle, 1st down. They'll mark him on about the 37, but that will be another Perry 1st down as the Panthers have gotten the running game revved up again.
Yeah, just playing Perry football here.
Yep, Maddox has been under center. They've had the wings. They've had the one back. And again, it is Connor Shepard, the junior, in the backfield. He gets the handoff, hit in the backfield, and dropped for a loss. Somebody shot through the middle on a run blitz. I think that was Brocker. Mitch Brocker, the senior, at 6'2" and 185. Their leader on the defensive side.
Yeah, he shot the B gap, and that's exactly where the ball was going. He made a nice tackle. That's not a small man to bring down there.
2nd down and 12. Maddox rolling near side, throws in the flat, missed his man. Walker trying to get it to Kyson Walker coming across the field, but the pass was behind him. Reardon in coverage for the Polar Bears. 3rd down and 12. It's funny, and it's always been this way, but Perry churning down the field. One play that cost them yardage or a penalty or something, and it completely undermines what they're trying to do. And now here they find themselves with a 3rd and 12.
Yeah, you get behind the sticks, and they just don't have a lot. Even if they would have completed that out pass, they may have picked up 2 or 3 yards. So
3rd and 12. Man in motion. Maddox straight back. Sets up. Going deep. Far side. And incomplete off the hands of the receiver and then off the hands of the defender, who almost had an interception. They were trying to go deep to the tight end, Dom Scott, and the ball just bounced off his chest down around the 5-yard line. And then it was nearly picked off on the carom. But as it is, it'll be 4th down now and 12 for Perry on the 39. And the field goal team is going to come out. We saw Brock Huggins hit a school record 52-yarder a couple of weeks ago. This one's 56, I believe, which would be a new school record. Stiff wind at his back.
Jackson had to put someone back in the end zone.
Good snap, good hold. Sends it on its way. It is no good. Wide to the right. I think he got it above the bar, but it was wide to the right. And so the Panthers are turned away. We said earlier before the game, everybody talking about the kickers, and somebody might give a long one a go tonight, and that was a pretty good opportunity to do it, just missed by a little bit.
Yeah, the wind's going across the field a little bit to the right, and that's the way it went, just wide right.
So Jackson will have it on their 20. Still leading 14-7 with 5:07 to go in the 3rd quarter. They'll bring 2 receivers to the near side right, 1 out to the left. And on 1st down, here comes Satterfield with a seam to the 30, to the 40, to the 50, 40, near sideline, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Jackson, 80 yards.
Just an outside zone play there. Satterfield was patient, found a hole, and just shot through and no one could catch him.
They had a 67-yarder earlier this season, now an 80-yard touchdown for Christian Satterfield. His third score of the season. Puts him over the 500-yard mark on the season. Extra point coming from Miser. Snap a little high, kick all the way, and it's good. Timeout on the field with 4:55 to go in the third quarter. It's now Jackson 21, Perry 7. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
High school football exemplifies the true meaning of teamwork. At Friends and Family Credit Union, our team of local friendly professionals offer the same true spirit for our members with a wide array of products from vehicle loans to personal loans, family secure checking with ID Protect, mortgage, home equity line of credit, and more. For over 60 years, we have the game plan for your financial well-being. Visit any of our 3 convenient locations, online or mobile banking. Now, more than ever, it's time to bring a friend
like
into
that
the
might
family.
happen because
This is high school football on Q92,
or
presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
So Jackson with a bolt of lightning. Fortunately, we haven't seen any of those in the sky tonight, but we just saw one on the field, an 80-yard touchdown run by senior running back Christian Satterfield for the Polar Bears, and they now have a 2-touchdown lead over Perry with 4:55 to go in the third quarter. And the kickoff by Miser. Low one, and bounces off the foot of the receiver. Picked up. It is Walker trying to come to the near side, and he's thrown down with the ball coming out. And Jackson is going to recover it on the 23-yard line. Tyson Walker just had the ball pulled out as he was being spun around. And Jackson, who just had an 80-yard touchdown run, takes over deep in Perry territory.
Yeah, another great play by Jackson Special Teams. We saw that last week on the kickoff team. It's a huge part of Coach Rohrer's game. I'm very impressed with their special teams and a play like that. You know, the one's making the tackle, the other one's going for the ball.
And the Polar Bears coming to the line of scrimmage now with a 1st and 10 on the Perry 22. Again into the wind. With a chance to really put a hammerlock on this game. Eckerman in the pistol. Straight back to throw. Pumps, wants to go deep. For Calando to the goal line. Can't make the grab as the defender got back to make the play just in time. Jaden Wilson got the hand in just as the ball was coming down for Noah Calando right at the goal line. So a nice play. The old out and up.
Stop and go. Yeah, great defensive play there. You know, Jackson's taking their shot. They want to go to the end zone right away.
And here on 2nd down, it's a run. Outside left to the 20, to the 18-yard line. And it's Foster Stanley picking up 4, so it'll be 3rd down and 6.
You know, I didn't notice it last week against Green, but Jackson has good team speed. They got, I've been impressed with Cowles overall, and that's what really hurt Perry last week was, the speed of McKinley got to him.
So 3rd and 6. And it's another give. Stanley coming near side, trying to get to the outside, then cuts inside a block and takes it to about the 14-yard line, which will set up a 4th and 2. Field goal not really an option at this point. Into this breeze, so Jackson right to the line of scrimmage on 4th and 2. They'll hand it off. Stanley running right, and he's close. He says he has it. And it will be a 1st down.
Once again with that forward lean, he puts his head down and leans forward, gets that 1st down. Nice run. I want to know if he's a basketball player. I seen him throw the ball back to the official twice like he's shooting the ball. I'm not sure about their. But they get up, they get it right to the umpire so they can get that quick play once again. They'll pregame that
from the 12. Stanley up the middle to the 10. And the pile moves forward another yard or so to the 9-yard line. We're 3:08, clock running, third quarter. On the Sarda scoreboard, Jackson up 21-7 over Perry. And inside the RG Drake red zone. Stanley a little slow to get up that time, maybe just because of the pile up. He'll come back into position as the Jackson running back, his counterpart, Christian Satterfield, just had an 80-yard touchdown a few moments ago. Stanley getting the chance now, and he gets another chance here, not quite straight on the handoff. They do hold on to the ball, but it's only about a 1-yard gain down to the 8-yard line, so it'll be third down and about 6 from the 8.
That's a big play there. Stanley, the ball, he got it on his hip, so it was really low, and good job keeping control, not trying to do anything fancy and just lowering his head and just keeping the drive alive.
Hoover scores. They lead on the Sarda scoreboard over Glen Oak now 14-7 in the third quarter. In the pistol on 3rd and 6. Man comes in motion near side. And it's a fake handoff. Throw on the sideline to Cowles, but this time he's got nowhere to run. And he'll be dropped back at the 9. Didn't have that open field to weave through that time. He was pinned in by the sideline and stopped well short. And the field goal team will come on here from Jackson. And it's going to be about a 27-yard attempt with the wind continuing to gust in the faces of the Polar Bears. Calando holding. And they took a long time, and it looks like Jackson might have moved early. Somebody moved. The flags come in.
They're just trying to run the play clock down there, but I've dealt with a lot of kickers in my life, and you don't want to have them thinking about anything else and just snap the ball and kick it there.
If you're going to kick a field goal, just kick it.
Yeah. That extra 14 seconds when they lined up, really good.
And now the wind has really picked up again, as you can tell by the crowd, Mike. Carrollton up 16-7 over Marlington, middle of the third quarter on the Sarda scoreboard. So now it's a 32-yard attempt. Good snap, good hold, kick on the way, playing it through the wind and putting it through Cooper Meiser. Timeout on the field with 1:11 to go in the third quarter. It's now Jackson 24, Perry 7. Listening to high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
By choosing Life Care Family Health and Dental in Canton as your medical home, you'll have access to a variety of integrated health services, including dental, vision, women's health, children's health, and behavioral health. Life Care's goal is to provide comprehensive and coordinated medical care to maximize health outcomes for you and your family. If you are sick, we have same-day appointments for our current patients. For information on how to become a new patient, visit lifecarefhoc.org. At Life Care Family Health and Dental, you will never get turned away.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Well, Jackson takes advantage of the fumble on the kickoff. They get 3 points out of that possession. And they now lead Perry 24-7 with 1:11 to go in the third quarter. As Meiser runs up to boot it. And the line drive coming to the near side, taken on the 5-yard line. Now to the 10, the 15, and short of the 20. Cavalon Belknap brought down about the 17-yard line, and the Polar Bears continue to dominate on special teams. I mean, that's a normal kickoff. Wasn't especially high, but it was just extremely well covered again by Polar Bears.
Yeah, inside the 20. I'd like to see a stat how many possessions teams have against them inside the 20. I mean, it's a weapon to put in the end zone, and, you know, you're happy for them to start on the 20, but if you can keep them pinned inside the 20, even better.
So Perry now down 17, not where anybody wants to be, but especially the offense they run. They give it on the delayed handoff, and it is Walker coming around the near side. Kyson Walker across the 20. Picks up nice yardage there. Got about 5 or 6 on the play to the 22. So a 5-yard gain for the senior, Kyson Walker. I know he'd like to do something to atone for that fumble on the kickoff return.
You got to have a short memory.
2 out to the right, 1 to the near side. Wing near side left, 1 back. And Maddox in the pistol. Hands off up the middle. And out to the 24-yard line is the ball carrier, Kyson Walker. Brocker with another tackle for Jackson, along with Reese Myers.
Let me give a shout out to 77 at Preston Daisy. He's seen him a few times taking the guys back to the secondary.
That's a big boy. They've got some big boys on the line. Well, we've come to the end of the third quarter. And after 3 on the SARTA scoreboard, Jackson 24, Perry 7. You're listening to high school football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. So go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
No Benedictine Stadium to the Don Shula Stadium.
On Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Ready for the fourth quarter from Perry, Clint Scroggs, and Brian Beatty here on Q92. And Jackson has put a stranglehold on this game. They lead 24-7 after 3. They've scored the last 24 points. Perry now with a 3rd and 3. Maddox throwing far side, man wide open across the 30, 35, and out close to the 40-yard line goes Jaden Wilson. The defensive back dropped off about 20 yards. So it was a pitch and catch there for Maddox and Wilson out to the 40 for a first down for the Perry Panthers, who desperately need points, but they're going in the right direction to do it into the win.
Yeah, it must have been a busted coverage there. I think the corner thought he had the deep half, and he should have came up on the flats there, but good pitch and catch.
And Perry needs something to go their way. They led 7-0, but Jackson has dominated. Second and third quarters, a run over the left side. I think that's Shepard running it for the Panthers, and he'll take it out to around the 44-yard line. So a 4-yard gain. Panthers can maybe afford one drive that takes a little time, but that's about it. This time receiver near side right, 2 wings. It's Shepard running to the right side, and he goes out to the 48-yard line. So that'll leave him about 2 yards short of the first down. Just over a minute into the fourth quarter. One of these teams will have their second Federal League loss after tonight. Salem and Alliance 13-all late third quarter on the SARTA scoreboard. Maddox in the pistol, throws out to the left, a falling catch on the Jackson side of the 50, and a first down for Kyson Walker on the 49. So they move the chains again. Northwest leading Tuslaw 26-7, Orville 31, Fairless nothing. Indian Valley 42, Sandy Valley 7. Newcomerstown 14, East Canton 7. A run around left end by Maddox to the far sideline, and he's shoved out of bounds. And they'll mark him out of bounds on the Jackson 43. So he gets about 6 on that play.
Yeah, that was a straight draw play. He could just drop back and give the old fake pump and took off.
It's Maddox taking the snap, runs straight up the middle, breaks a tackle, breaks another. And it's still battling. He's going to have a first down, I believe, down to the 37-yard line. Picked up 6 there, all on his own.
Yeah, just kept his feet going and kept on moving the pile there.
Louisville continues to lead Central 7-6, and they're down to the last 3.5 minutes. Central on the march, according to our John Bazika, who's calling that game tonight on Q92radiosports.com. 1st and 10, Perry on the Jackson 37. They trail 24-7 as they give it to Lemon around the left side, weaving his way through traffic and taking it down to about the 30-yard line. They'll mark him on the 30, as you can hear still.
Yeah, wind started to pick up a little bit, yeah.
It was like this 3 hours ago. It basically hasn't stopped. The wind started to pick up in the mid-afternoon, and it's been howling most of the game. Here's Maddox, short roll near side. Throw and catch taken by Carter Foster, and he's down on the 24-yard line. That'll be another Perry first down, as they have picked up their 3rd on this possession. 8:43 to go in the 4th. Panthers trailing 24-7. Jackson trading a little yardage here for a little time, knowing the Panthers need 3 scores.
And Coach Roars getting on his front.
Here's Maddox trying the middle, now bounce to the outside, and he bounces off another man and diving forward. The Panthers are running hard on this possession. Maddox gets to the 21. It's only about a 3-yard pickup. It'll be under 8 minutes when the next play starts.
Yeah, I think Coach Rohr wants a little bit on these passing situations, a little bit more pressure. He's had plenty of time to sit back there, and I think that's what he's getting on his front 3 there.
2 receivers each side. Man in motion to the left. Maddox stops, pumps, throws for the end zone, ball in the air, and it's basically just a jump ball, and the Perry offensive player kind of batted it down away from the defender. Receiver was not open. And the pass hits the ground, and it'll be 3rd and 7 on the 21. 7:40 to go. Jackson with a 24-7 advantage. Again, they bring 2 to the near side, 2 out to the left, and now Lemon goes in motion left. They hand him the ball in the end around, turns it upfield, inside the 15, down to around the 13. And that will be another Perry first down. So the Panthers very effective here on this drive. See if they have enough time. Carrollton, after 3, leads Marlington 16-7. Again with the 4 receivers, wing left. Man again comes in motion. It's Walker, Kyson Walker, cutting inside a block to the 10, to the 5, and down inside the 5-yard line. Saving tackle by Jackson's Max Cowles. They'll put him on the 4. It'll be 1st and goal as the Panthers are inside the R.G. Drake red zone. The clock still ticking away, 6:55. Play comes from the far sideline. Jaden Wilson brings it in, now splits to the near side right, wing each way. Handoff right side, and it's going to be a touchdown for Perry as Connor Shepard takes it in from 4 yards out for the Panthers' 2nd touchdown of the night.
Yeah, Jackson doesn't look like they were set up on defense there, and Perry took advantage of it and had them on their heels and ran them back to the end zone.
4th touchdown of the year for Connor Shepard on the ground. Perry will kick here. Down 11. And the kick by Huggins is no good. Wide to the right. His first miss of the season. comes with 6:33 to go in the fourth quarter. It's now Jackson 24, Perry 13. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92. Finding the right space to open or relocate your business can mean the difference between success and failure. The real estate professionals at Putman Properties will help find the perfect commercial property to suit your needs. Putman Properties specializes in office, retail, warehouse, manufacturing, investment, and multifamily residential real estate. Looking to sell your commercial real estate? Putman Properties marketing professionals will utilize local, regional, and national networks developed over 30 years to command the highest yield available. Contact Putman Properties at 330-498-4400 or visit them online at putmanproperties.com.
This is High School Football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
6.5 minutes to go in this one. Jackson with a 24-13 lead over Perry. As Brock Huggins just missed his first extra point of the season. He had made his first 12. And maybe trying to play for the wind, put it out to the right, and it didn't come back for him. So Perry will still need a 2-point conversion on their touchdown and a field goal to tie this, and they're lining up for an onside kick. So Perry set up to run the onside kick. They bounce it to the far side, and it's taken by Perry. It went right through a Jackson player, it looked like, who came up to field it early, and Perry recovered on the Jackson 47-yard line. So the Panthers right back in business and right back on the field with their offense.
Yeah, great onside kick there. He put a nice pop on that, and I guess you could use the baseball terms. It took a bad hop on the first guy trying to field it, and it just bounced into the Perry player's hands.
Austin Maddox, the quarterback, alone in the backfield. Brings a man in motion. That's Walker. Hands him the ball. Sweeping right in. Polar Bears are there. Can they bring him down? They do. Brocker finally got the wrap on him. Jackson saying they recovered a fumble, but the officials saying the ball was down, but it is a big loss on the play for Perry. They're going to lose about 6 yards back to their 46-yard line.
Yeah, great play by Nolan Foster, number one there. It was taken on the block and just kept the ball inside and let his pursuit make the tackle. What a great football play by number one.
Marlington with a field goal. They trail 16-10 against Carrollton. 4 receivers. Lawson goes in motion left, sets up to block. As Maddox throws far side, leaping catch by Wilson. And he's out of bounds on the far side of the field, around the 42-yard line. That'll be short of a first down. It'll be third down and about 4 from the Jackson 42. We have 5:44 to go. Jackson up 24-13. Perry just recovered the onside kick.
Definitely 4-down territory here for the Panthers.
And the possibility of a long field goal as well is kind of out of the question. And whistles and flags. It looked like the Panthers were moving forward before the snap, and I think that's going to be on the offense in a very bad time to do it. Just a little over anxious. And that'll back them up to the 47. So it'll be third down and 9 now for the Panthers. As you say, 4-down territory with 5:42 to go. Clock will start on the snap. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Man comes in motion near side. That's Walker. Blitz from the outside. Maddox running around, looking downfield. Still trying to escape, and they got him down.
Had to have something set up there. He looked downfield. Their wideouts were blocking. So there was either a miscommunication on the play right at the beginning. They thought it was a run play, or they were trying to set up a backside screen. But he looked downfield. I looked at the receivers, and they were blocking the Jackson guys. So there was nowhere he could have thrown the ball there.
So the sack takes them all the way back to their 47-yard line. And now for Perry, They need 15 yards here on 4th down. 5:03 to go, clock running. Perry down 24-13 and 4th and 15 on their own side of the 50. Maddox back to throw, sets up, fires deep far side, ball in the air and tipped it incomplete. The Polar Bears were back waiting for the long pass. Cooper Geisinger was in coverage on Jaden Wilson and defended that pass and gave the ball back to Jackson on the offense.
Yeah, it might have had an opportunity to pick that ball up, but a smart play, knocking it down. You get better field position. You're inside your 49 now, and Jackson can put it away here.
4:51 to go. Jackson with a 1st and 10 on the Perry. I got to put it just inside the 48-yard line. In the pistol, and it's a handoff. And here comes Satterfield around the end. He's got a 1st down. Inside the 35, but we have a flag down, and Jay Rohr getting some serious air time, meaning off the ground time as he's hopping up and down. It looks like there's going to be a holding call against his team. It's going to wipe out that run that would have been for a 1st down. So it'll back it up to the Jackson 44. It'll be 1st down and about 19. 4:44 left in the 4th quarter. The clock will start. Polar Bears, 2 out to the right, 1 to the near side. Wing right. They'll set up, and then they'll look to the near side for a play. Satterfield in as the running back. Jackson up by 11. With 4.5 minutes to go, Satterfield gets the handoff. Runs right, runs into a defender, pushes him forward, picks up about 4 yards on the play. Austin Maddox on the tackle. They'll mark him on the 48-yard line. Be well under 4 minutes when this play gets going. Still 15 on the play clock as they look to the near side for the call. Satterfield to the right of his quarterback in the pistol. On 2nd and 15, Satterfield up the middle. Shoots through to the 47, and Perry will call timeout with 3:35 to go. 24-13 Jackson. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Q92 Sports is your home for the best in high school and Mount Union football. Be sure to follow us all season long on our social media. Just follow Q92 Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We drop photos and videos from all of our football broadcasts, both high school and Mount Union. You can also see what games we'll be broadcasting week to week, and we always follow you back. Be sure to follow Q92 Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and stay connected to the Q92 Sports Network.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
.335 to go in this one. Jackson up 24-13. Hoover now up on Glen Oak 21-7 in the 4th. Orville leads Fairless 31-7. McKinley up on Green 19-10. As here's a run up the middle by Satterfield. He breaks through and almost broke it all the way. He's tackled in the secondary by Maddox at the 34-yard line. He picks up 16.
Nice job up front by Jackson. Had a nice little hold there. He's taking care of the ball. Has 2 hands on the ball and almost busted that one.
Down to the Perry 34. We're now at 3:08 to go. Panthers with 2 timeouts remaining. Again, Jackson in no hurry. 8 on the play clock. Eckerman takes the snap, hands off, and no gain there for Satterfield as he's brought down in the backfield by Michael DeSantis, a junior. Makes a nice play. No gain on the play.
I don't think we've seen Eckerman run the ball at all tonight, have we? Any keeps?
No, I don't think so. That's a weapon, but of course he had the knee injury last year. I don't think they want him to run any more than he has to.
Yeah.
But he's capable. Foster Stanley now in the backfield for the Polar Bears as we're down to 2:20. Jackson with an 11-point lead in the ball, and they are looking to run this out. Eckerman hands off. Stanley starts left, back to the middle he comes, and he's downed by Dom Scott at the 31, and Perry will take another timeout. With 2:05 to go, we'll take it with Jackson up 24-13. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Sure, we're all about Stark County, but did you know we have express fixed routes to Akron and Cleveland? Just take Route 81. That's
Bad
Akron.
pump by Jackson in the drop ball.
Stop, eat, sightsee, catch a game, or visit
yes.
that other Hall of Fame. We also take
That was
veterans to their Wade Park appointments for free. Plan your next trip to Akron or Cleveland, and SARTA will get you there.
Yeah.
That's where you get into SARTA and get SARTA smart. Visit SARTAonline.com/smart.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Back here at Perry, stay tuned for the Paramount Elite Player of the Game following tonight's broadcast. Paramount Elite for all your general contracting and home restoration needs. Jackson with an 11-point lead in the final 2 minutes. Would seem to have the most candidates. And here's a give. Stanley looking, waiting, running left, taking it inside the 30 to the 27. And Perry will take their final timeout with 1:58 to go. But seemingly a futile effort by the Panthers. As we said, next week they will be out of conference. They'll be the odd Federal League team out, I believe, next week. They have Austin Town Fitch.
Yeah, it's no easy challenge there at
No,
all.
and that's on the road. Also next week, Hoover is at McKinley, Green at Glen Oak, and Lake at Jackson in the Federal League. West Branch and Marlington, Central and Mogadore, Triway and Canton South. Those are our other scheduled games next week. It's 4th and 4 for Jackson on the 28-yard line. Cooper Miser acting as though he's going to try a field goal here. We'll see what Jay Rohr elects to do. Nope. He'll stay on the sidelines as the Jackson offense will go back out there.
Yeah, I don't think you want to mess with a snap or anything dumb here. Get a quick.
They'll run it up the middle. Stanley breaks into the secondary, and he's going all the way. Foster Stanley from 28 yards out, and the Polar Bears put it away as they now lead it 30-13. Sometimes you can see those coming with a team that's down in the final moments of the game. They're just running right at you. And
Run right at you, and they're trying to strip the ball. They're not making sound tackles, trying to get the ball first. And Stanley's one, if you're just going to tackle him high or going for the ball, he's going to run right by you and right through you.
extra point is good. Timeout on the field with 1:52 to go. Jackson 31, Perry 13. You're listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
The Q92 Sports Network brings you more high school football and basketball games than anyone else, by far. But did you know that you can go back and listen to our broadcast again? Simply go to the Q92 radio page on SoundCloud. We posted the games we broadcast for everyone to go back and relive. We have playlists filled with our high school football broadcasts from 2016 to this season. Go to SoundCloud now, follow Q92 Radio, and listen. And thank you for listening to all of our sports broadcasts of high school football and basketball on the Q92 Sports Network.
This is High School Football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
1:52 left here. Jackson on their way to another victory. They lead it 31-13. And Miser's kick with the wind at his back. Down to Walker on the 5. To the 10. To the 20. To the 29-yard line, where he is brought down. That tackle by Jackson's Cooper Geisinger. Jackson looking to go to 3-3 as the pass by Maddox is batted up in the air and incomplete as they try to catch it. Maddox almost caught it, but one of his teammates came in trying to do the same and knocked it away from him. So that pass batted down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Perry from their 30 with 1:40 to go. Jackson looking to go to 3-3 tonight and 1-1 in Federal League play. They have Lake next week at home for Glen Oak, at McKinley, and home for Hoover. Maddox rolling near side, flips it to the sideline, and it's caught. Nice catch by Lemon at the 46-yard line. So that's a pickup of about 16, maybe 17 there. Green scores. They're still in the third quarter. And McKinley with a 19-17 lead on Green.
Great ball game there. I think tonight we've seen, Jackson that just has more athletes, a lot more team speed, a lot more weapons.
Ball on the ground. Maddox picks it up, rolling to his left, still looking. He's going to run to the far sideline and shoved out of bounds by Brucker at the 48-yard line. So he's going to pick up a yard or so.
Jackson was tested coming into this game too. They had Green, they played Menor, they played Fitch. Was the other two losses, and they're both 5-0. And so they've been tested, and you got to be like that. You're in that Division I, Region I.
Perry with the loss will drop to 3-3 and 0-2 as the throw is intercepted. Picked off by Kyler Bailing, running back the other way and brought down inside the 35-yard line. Bailing with the interception, and that will wrap it up. 1:19 to go, and an injured Perry player down inside his own 45-yard line. So we'll have to tend to that player. Jay Rohr, actually, the first one out there.
Yeah.
As the Perry trainer now out on the field. So we said Perry, with the loss tonight, would fall to 3-3. That injured player was Carter Foster, but he's up and walking off. They have Fitch away next week. Fitch 5-0 coming in this week. Then they're home for Hoover, at Green, and at Glen Oak. No easy ones at this point.
No, not at all.
So 1:19 to go. Perry with no timeouts, and Jackson will line up in the victory formation and run out this clock. Eckerman takes the snap, takes a knee. One more time ought to do it.
Yeah, Perry back-to-back weeks now has given up, 38 and 31.
Right. Yeah, they've given up 22 points in their first 4 games. And now 69 in the last two. Eckerman takes a knee, and that will do it as the teams head to midfield for the handshakes. And the Jackson Polar Bears have the victory. Final score on the SARTA scoreboard: Jackson 31, Perry 13. Back with the post game after this timeout. You're listening to High School Football, presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.
RG Drag, Starr County's premier career center, offers programs
Satterfield or
students at the high school level, careers and continued education beyond high school. Upon completion, RG Drag students have an immediate opportunity to obtain a full-paying job in many exciting career fields. We offer everything from culinary, dental assisting, engineering,
wins there,
urban landscape,
game, right?
building, and so much more. Contact RG Drag to find a program and career that's the perfect fit for you. RG Drag, where careers begin.
Q92 Sports is your home for the best in high school and Mount Union football. Be sure to follow us all season long on our social media. Just follow Q92 Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We drop photos and videos from all of our football broadcasts, both high school and Mount Union. You can also see what games we'll be broadcasting week to week, and we always follow you back. Be sure to follow Q92 Sports on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and stay connected to the Q92 Sports Network.
Sarshone Auto Group is Ohio's fastest growing automotive group with 6 locations in Northeast Ohio, featuring top brands like Chevy, Ford, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, and more. Experience the fast, friendly, no-pressure approach to car buying that makes Sarshone truly different. Visit Sarshone today, or see the selection of thousands of new and used vehicles at sarshone.com. Sarshone Auto Group, an official partner of the Cleveland Browns.
This is high school football on Q92, presented by Sarshone Auto Group.
Back a final time at Keith Wakefield Stadium. And the Jackson Polar Bears, even their record 3-3 with a 31-13 victory over Perry tonight. The Panthers scored first in the first quarter. Jackson got 2 scores in the second. Eventually went up 24-7, and the teams traded touchdowns in the fourth quarter. And Jackson comes out with the win. Perry now falling to 3-3. Jackson 1-1 in the league, and Perry 1-2. So time for the player of the game, brought to you by Paramount Elite. For all your general contracting and home restoration needs. We had good play on the line again tonight by Jackson. We had an 80-yard touchdown by Kristen Satterfield, but I think a receiver is going to receive the award here tonight. That'll be Max Coles, the junior wideout for Jackson, who made 2 explosive plays to help his team tonight.
Yeah, definitely big plays by Max tonight. Short passes. The quarterback did all the stat lines also with those, but just showed a nice burst, good moves, and getting the end zone. Those are big plays. Like we said, they're not going to throw the ball into the wind, which they did on both of those scores. And but they were short passes that he took advantage of, just more long handoffs. So yeah, very impressed with Jackson tonight and their playmakers across the board.
They showed them a little bit last week, a little bit more here tonight. And again, another interesting year in the Federal League. Still waiting to see what happens there between McKinley and Green. Looks like Hoover is going to get a win tonight against Glen Oak. Lake with an easy out-of-conference win tonight. So we'll go on to next week, which will be week 7 already, and into October. And teams are going to be saying put up or shut up at this time of season.
Exactly.
It's a final here from Perry, with Jackson winning at 31-13 on the SARTA scoreboard. Thanks to Ryan Rainsberg back in the studios. And my partner, Brian Beatty. I'm Clint Scroggs again. Tonight, Jackson 31, Perry 13. You've been listening to High School Football presented by the Sarshone Auto Group on Q92.